There was a time when war moved at the speed of a human decision. Messages traveled slowly. Orders could be delayed, misunderstood, or ignored. Weapons required presence, proximity, and intention. To kill, someone had to look another human being in the eye and accept the consequence of that moment. War was brutal, but was limited by the physical and psychological boundaries of those who fought it. That limitation no longer exists. The transformation did not happen overnight. There was no single invention that crossed a line. Instead, war slowly surrendered its restraint, piece by piece, improvement by improvement. Each technological advance was justified as protection, efficiency, or necessity. Each step seemed reasonable in isolation, but together they built something unstoppable. At first, technology promised control. Faster communication meant better coordination. More precise weapons meant fewer mistakes. Automation meant reducing human error. War was supposed to become cleaner, smarter, more disciplined. But war does not reward restraint. It rewards advantage. And every advantage demands escalation. Speed was the first thing to change everything. Once communication became instant, hesitation became dangerous. Commanders who paused too long lost battles before they even began. The faster side did not need better judgment. It only needed to act first. Strategy was no longer about wisdom or patience. It became a race against reaction time. When speed dominates, thinking becomes a liability. As machines shortened the distance between detection and destruction, human judgment was gradually removed from the loop. Decisions that once took hours were compressed into seconds, then milliseconds. At that point, no human could meaningfully intervene. War stopped waiting for people to decide. It began to decide for them. Industrialization pushed this transformation even further. War was no longer fought by armies alone, but by factories, supply chains, and production quotas. Victory depended less on courage and more on output. Soldiers became interchangeable. Ammunition became statistics. Losses were no longer tragedies. They were expected variables in a system designed for consumption. The battlefield became an extension of the assembly line. Once death could be mass-produced, it lost its moral friction. When weapons are produced by the thousands, using them feels inevitable. Stockpiles demand justification. A weapon built but never used becomes a political failure. And so, production itself begins to push strategy. War stops being about necessity and starts being about utilization. Automation sealed the transformation. Weapon systems were now designed to function without emotion, doubt, or hesitation. Their value was measured not in judgment, but in reaction speed. They could not question orders, because questioning slowed response. They could not hesitate, because hesitation meant vulnerability. These systems did exactly what they were built to do, and that was the problem. Once activated, they demanded continuation. At this stage, commanders no longer truly commanded. They supervised systems already in motion. Turning them off became harder than letting them run. Too many dependencies formed around them. Too many plans assumed their availability. Too many political careers depended on their success. Distance completed the process. Killing no longer required physical presence. The battlefield moved farther away, beyond borders, beyond sight, beyond emotional reach. When destruction is experienced through screens, it loses weight. When consequences arrive as data points, empathy fades. Distance makes violence abstract, and abstraction makes escalation easy. The enemy became a signal, not a person. This distance also dissolved accountability. When destruction is a result of layered systems, responsibility becomes unclear. Was it the operator, the commander, the engineer, the policymaker, or the algorithm itself? War found a way to produce outcomes without ownership. Blood was spilled, but guilt had nowhere to land. The result was inevitable. War stopped ending. Modern conflict no longer concludes with surrender or resolution. Instead, it enters states of permanent readiness. Ceasefires replace peace. Engagements replace battles. Conflict becomes a condition rather than an event. The machinery of war cannot simply be shut down without collapsing the structures built around it. Entire economies now depend on war's continuation. Entire industries exist to refine it, upgrade it, optimize it. Stopping war is no longer just a moral decision. It is an economic disruption, and disruptions are resisted. Perhaps the most disturbing truth is this. Modern war does not require hatred. It does not require ideology. It does not even require intent. It only requires systems already in motion and the fear of falling behind. Once war becomes automated, restraint becomes irrational. Technology did not make war evil. War was already that. Technology made it efficient, continuous, and detached from human conscience. It removed the final barrier, the need for a person to say stop. And when war no longer needs humans to sustain it, stopping it becomes nearly impossible. What remains is not a battlefield, but a process, not a conflict, but a permanent condition, a system that escalates itself, feeds itself, and justifies itself. This is the moment when war stopped being something humans did and became something that happens,